Hi, everyone. It's Wednesday, 6:30 on the Multiverse. And today we're going to be talking about 90s and 2000s trends. I'm trying to give that like MTV VH1, like back in the day, like vibe. You know how they be talking. So, anyways, so how are you guys?
Doing great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
No, you definitely got Summer House vibes. MTV Summer House, right?
Summer
Like
House.
that's
Yeah,
what they used to do. Yeah,
yeah,
you got those vibes. I could see
I
it.
know. I'd be like, all right, guys, how y'all
Hey.
doing? We're
Yeah.
gonna play your favorite music video. So right now we are gonna play your favorite music video. It's called the intro to the show. Okay, so let's go.
What do you know about the multiverse?
All right, all right. All right, guys. So 90s and 2000 trends. So before we get into like the first part, let's talk about what is your favorite part of like the 90s and the 2000s? Like we're gonna reminisce here. Oh, hey, hey, hey. Okay. Ty, what are your favorite parts of the 90s and 2000s?
Oh, without a doubt, the music.
Music.
I still to this day, I have Sirius XM and mine stays on 90s. I don't listen to today's music that much. Few people, but for the most part, definitely the music. The music stood out to me. Like the groups, because we don't have too many of those anymore, if any, if any groups.
Listen.
But those were really huge back then. My favorite rap artists, Wu Tang, Nas. You know what I'm saying? Like a whole bunch of just uh, really, really, really good quality music. So definitely for me, it would have to be the music of the '90s. I loved it, still do.
Yeah. Tyrone, what was your favorite part about the 90s and 2000s?
Yeah, I gotta agree with the music thing and just add a little bit to it. It felt like we were all kind of jamming to the same stuff in the 90s. Like it felt more universal. I think we've kind of our tastes have sort of just diverged a little bit, but back in the 90s, like there were songs that would just hit so hard for everybody. You would just hear them. And I mean, you wouldn't be surprised to hear any of your friends bumping like Alanis Morissette. You know what I mean? Like Alanis was out there killing it, but also like, if Montel Jordan came on, they were
It was
they were going to be killing it
working.
too. You know what I mean? So it had
Yeah.
that feel to it where we were all just really jamming out to the same shit.
Yeah. No, absolutely. So when we talk about music, what we were talking so Tyrone, you were just talking about boy bands and whether that was like your R&B, your black, brown, or even your white boy bands. I think there was something for everybody. And I know Ty and I were talking about like New Kids on the Block
Oh yeah.
last night and just thinking like when it comes to boy bands, like the 90s boy bands, who were some of your favorites, Tyrone?
Well, I had to pretend that I hated boy bands because I was early teens dude, you know what I mean? And I had to act a certain way. I couldn't have people out there thinking I was out there jamming the Backstreet Boys, but I absolutely was. I sided with Backstreet Boys more than NSYNC. I could never get on board with NSYNC. I was like, they're not singing like the Backstreet Boys are singing. I heard the Backstreet Boys one time at an award show. They sang, they real quick busted into some like acapella Boys to Men, and I was like, okay, Backstreet Boys, I see you. I hear you. So
Yeah,
it was so
yeah,
then I had some respect for them. So I was able to enjoy, all of the classic Backstreet Boys songs, Everybody and uh what was
yes,
it?
yeah,
One of my favorites was it Show Me the Meaning of Being Lonely? I don't know what the
yes,
song is called, but yeah, that one was a
it
jam. That
is.
one hit me right in the heart. Hit me right in the heart. Yeah.
That's Ty. What were your favorite like 90s boy bands?
I mean, boy bands. Boys to Men definitely
Yes.
has to be at the top of the list. And I was like a low key, a real, yeah, there you go, a real huge New Kids on the Block,
Hmm.
like that, and I didn't hide it. I mean, let's be clear. New Kids on the Block had dudes dancing. Like that was the first
Hmm.
like that time you would see you go to school and people would be breaking dance, not
Yeah.
breaking, but just doing like the the routine dances that they would do.
Yeah, they out there hanging tough. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, like, yeah, you know, so New Kids on the Block was huge, man. I was telling you the other day, like, I actually went to a New Kids on the Block concert. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I went out there and jammed, and they killed it. Like no key. Like, yo, for those that don't know, they went in concert. Oh man, they was killing it, bro. Like killing it. The girls were going crazy and everything like that. And if you was a real player back in the day, you knew you was going to the New Kids on the Block concert. You might have a date or two that was willing to join you, you dig? So you know, like I never really hid anything when it came. I was always the singer. I always would sing at, you know, to girls. And so yeah, please don't go, girl. Yeah,
oh my gosh.
That was my joint. That was my joint. So New Kids on the Block, Boys to Men, those were definitely some of my favorites. I wasn't too big into Backstreet as everybody else was. I thought they was like a knockoff New Kids on the Block.
Okay.
About them, you know what I'm saying? So I was like,
yeah, like did y'all separate the boy bands like NSYNC and Backstreet Boys and stuff like that from like the R&B groups? Because for me, like Boys to Men, Jagged Edge, Drew Hill, 112, like for me they don't count as boy bands. Like those were men doing their thing, you know what I mean? Like they were out there like the Temptations, you know what I mean? For me, these are like the new Temptations and like, you know, the new OJs and stuff. So that's how I always saw them. So I didn't count them as boy bands. I'm just wondering if y'all counted them as boy bands or do y'all separate them like I did?
I did. I think it's because it's like it's R&B, and then like the boy bands like NSYNC and Backstreet Boys were like pop.
Yeah.
Pop. Even though sometimes they're harmonies and runs. I was like, okay.
Yeah,
like, I see y'all trying to imitate. Like,
I mean, yeah. I mean, there was a little bit of you know, biting going on, without a doubt. I mean, Justin Timberlake decided he was a whole black man. So like, you know, there was that whole thing. Remember, he was the black dude of the group. He thought he was.
Yeah. So as I'm showing this image because I just love how the music in the 90s and going to the 2000s was so diversified. Oh my God, someone said, please don't sing. Okay, comment.
It's all good. It's all good. It works. Trust me.
I smell a sing-off coming.
Yeah, they don't want that. They don't want that. I can sing. Don't get it twisted. Just because I play around, I could really blow. Like, don't get it twisted. Tyrone has heard me sing now. You know what I mean? So I can sing.
Okay, don't make Ty sing up in here.
Yeah, I can sing now.
We have a competition up in here. But I think I just liked in the 90s the diversity of like, you could, like you said, Tyrone, I think you really could like Britney Spears and you switch over to Destiny's Child and you switching over to like, I mean, Jagged Edge and you're switching over back to NSYNC. Like, I just feel like there was something for everybody. Alanis, I loved her too. I mean, who else? Like, I mean, Nirvana. I mean, there's just like a very like range of like.
Yeah, there was a lot more universally appealing music, I think, and you know, and not that it was like bad or you know overdone or anything. It was just like there were just some bangers, like some real like
competitiveness.
Competitiveness
amongst groups and artists, because that was around the time where Britney and Jessica Simpson had their little.
Don't forget Christina. You can't leave Christina out of that.
No. There was never. Listen, Christina was her own thing, so we're not even going to do that. We're not even going to do that. I'm talking about
like, don't slander Christina like
Britney's
that.
And the Jessica Simpsons of when Christina was like. There's definitely no competition with Britney and Christina, other than maybe they dated the same guy. I think Justin was hip jumping all around, you know, back then. So he, you know.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I was a big fan of Britney Spears. I will say that when she first came out, but then, I mean, I like Destiny's Child, but they had like a lot of lineup changes. And then I was really happy in the 2000s when Beyonce went solo. But Christina was like her own, like in her own category, vocal range.
That style of singing back then too. You brought up Destiny's Child and
Yes.
Vogue, and Vogue was
Yes.
destroying everybody in harmonies. SWV, remember SWV
SWV,
and the way
yes.
they would, man,
Absolutely.
man.
Yes.
SW, all those groups, SWV Total, what was
They're all
Escape.
making a
the group
comeback on
that,
TikTok.
Escape was the
Candy
other.
was in,
Yeah, Escape.
Escape, yes, all of
Yeah.
that. SWV,
Yeah.
you know what I'm
Yeah,
And
saying?
like
TLC. TLC was out there
You're
doing it.
the one for me. Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, come on now.
Aaliyah. I mean, we
Let's
can't forget
go.
Aaliyah.
Oh yeah.
Aaliyah. Yeah.
Aaliyah was
So,
a
and all
queen.
these songs are coming back on TikTok,
Yeah.
and people are doing like throwbacks to like Mint Condition, Breaking My, like Pretty Brown Eyes. Like everybody's like doing these throwback challenges, and I think it's great. And I
I
love
don't
our comment
appreciate.
section is jumping.
Yeah. What up, y'all? What's going on? I don't appreciate these teenagers thinking that they're introducing us to Aaliyah or something though. Like y'all need to fix your
Right.
captions and being like, "Did you know?" Yes, I knew. Calm down. Like,
Oh my gosh. So, now we're in the 90s. We got to talk a little bit some of the 2000s. Can't leave out some of the 2000s. I will say like in the 2000s, I think like rap like had its emergence like in the early 2000s. Like not to say it wasn't popping in the 90s, but I think in terms of like was it Hot Boys and like, you know, really
Jay-Z.
kind of taking
Yeah, Reasonable
Jay-Z,
Doubt.
like taking hold like mainstream where it was kind of having that crossover effect like in the pop, you know, it's
No,
like
it's
on the
huge.
Hot 100. Yeah. So 2000s, the 99 to the 2000s.
Yeah, Wu-Tang.
Yeah.
That was the emergence
Wu-Tang.
of Wu-Tang, and you
Yep.
had you had other rap groups. You had why am I thinking Naughty by Nature?
well, yeah, in the early '90s, especially.
You know, you had Heavy
Yeah.
D and the Boys.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
you had some very popular rap
golden age.
groups.
Yep.
Look, you even had the Fat Boys. The Fat Boys are back.
Fat Boys are doing it.
And we'll never go back. Fat Boys are back. Yes, all that. They had movies and everything. So yeah.
Yeah, but then like I feel like what really started to change it like was it was around the early 2000s. I feel like Nelly was like the tipping point for like what became mainstream pop rap, like when TRL was a thing and Nelly dropped Country Grammar, and that was like the, you know, Country Grammar was everywhere. People couldn't get enough of that shit. And I feel like that's when rap started to like really change, and they started to recognize the money that was, you know, the money potential of, you know, just kind of a more poppy rap. And I'm not going to pretend I wasn't out there banging, you know, Country Grammar too. You know what I mean? And I bought the Saint Lunatics album. It wasn't just Nelly. I bought the whole Saint Lunatics album, pretending like I liked it because I was just like, yeah, this is dope. But yeah, it was changing.
And Tyron said TRL. I'm like, TRL beat like 106 in Park, like all the countdown shows, like
Basement.
Yeah.
Yes.
Big Tigger in the Basement was huge in the 2000s.
Yep.
You know, like
BET
all of those little shows. But once BET came out and just started dropping all of the, like they had like a whole lineup. If you look back, like you remember, there was a guy named Kicks. I think like he or he did like the street. I don't know if his name was Kicks, but he did like the street. He would go on the street and do street interviews, and then he would like he was a funny guy, tall guy, you know what I'm saying, like real funny guy on BT, and like BT just kind of opened the door for us to have like more of a visual. TRL gave you the one-on-ones, like TRL would have the actual guest there, but BT, you know, would give you those actual visuals, those videos, and everything like that. And BT After Dark, for those who that no longer exists because it just got a little bit raunchy. got a little, you go out. BT After Dark was basically soft porn. On television.
Drill, all them.
Yes,
I remember discovering that on accident one night, just being like.
Right?
Exactly.
Like, they have no clothes on in this video.
Yes.
Like when like before BBLs took hold, when it, like nowadays, and like what is like, you're like, no, Slim Thick and all that has been in. Y'all weren't on BET Like,
Yeah, yeah, y'all were
y'all,
watching TRL. We were watching BET After
right,
Dark. We know
right,
what's up.
yeah. So this is a good music conversation, but one thing, oh yeah, ludicrous. One thing
Luda
though, we're gonna make a transition to the technology
Hits. That was his
throwback
name. Hits from the street.
hits.
Hits.
Oh,
Mm,
thank you, Amy. Amy
Thank you.
always coming
I
through.
do remember that
Yeah.
dude. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna go back to the old, like we're gonna go and throw it back to some old technology.
Oh,
Now look at this picture very closely and see which phones you had up in here, because I can see about
all
4 or
of them.
5 up in.
Yeah,
You
I had
had
like
all of
yeah,
them.
I
I
had
don't
like
know about
3
that
of
one in the
these.
top right, that Nokia. I didn't have that
Me
one.
too.
I
Oh,
didn't
the
have
top right, I
that
had the
one.
one in the middle. That's the one in the middle I
Oh,
had.
okay, yeah, the
So
one in the middle. I think I've seen it. I didn't have that one, but I didn't have the one in the right. But all of the other ones, the two ways and the yeah, all of
Yeah,
that.
that Nokia in the bottom middle, that was that if
that's the
That was the
starter.
yeah,
standard
that is
base
the
phone.
cell phone. That was
That
like
was the base
the
stand,
cell
the
phone.
base
Yeah.
standard. Yep.
There weren't cell phones until that phone happened, and then that was the end of it, everything. They were like, no, we don't even need landlines anymore. That was it. I never had a BlackBerry. I was not cool enough to have a BlackBerry. That
No?
was I didn't. I was like, who am I gonna? My mom wasn't receiving texts at the time, so like, I had no reason to have a keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
No. So yeah, I had a BlackBerry, not this model, but the one like after it. Did
Mm.
anyone fortunate enough to have a T-Mobile Sidekick? I wasn't
I
that
did.
No
big.
sidekick.
I did. Where you flip the screen up, flip
Yeah.
your screen up, and you just yeah.
You
I had my T-Mobile
fancy.
Sidekick.
What about that Nextel walkie-talkie? Y'all had that
I
walkie-talkie for
had
a
that
little while.
too. I had the Nextel Sky Pager. I had all of that.
I love that we really thought it was cool to walk around like security guards, just like
Yes.
talking about what's your 20 and shit like that. Like nobody, we didn't need that. Like what the hell are we doing?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get
It was
ending
cool,
conversations
man.
with
Like,
10-4.
it was
Like
hella
shit,
cool
why?
back then. Like, you know what I mean? Like that was like the iPhone of phones. If you had your little
Yeah.
your beep,
Oh yeah, you get the little chirp.
so hey, where you at? All right, you couldn't hold it and keep and like talk and hear. You had to let go.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So,
Hear everybody's plans. Hear them all.
I just had a conversation with a friend where we were talking about, remember when you had to wait till 9 o'clock to talk for free?
Oh yeah, free nights and
Unlimited
weekends.
minutes.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
And
the
we had
phone
to, like,
plans.
Yeah.
Call me after 7,
only got
man.
1,000 text messages.
Yeah. You get a call and be
Yeah.
like, hey yo, let me call you back in 43 minutes. Yeah. All right, cool.
That is
You're
so
like,
true.
I only got 10 minutes left for my monthly minutes.
That is so true. Yo, I mean, look,
You had,
remember
like,
we in the 90s we were using calling cards. Like
Mhm.
you were using calling cards.
Mhm.
Like, yo, I don't know about you guys, but I had it when I would go away from and I'd be gone for a while,
Yeah.
and I'd have to call home long distance. My mom would buy me a calling card because I like
Yeah.
people's long distance. Everybody didn't have long distance on their phone, so you had to dial in all these numbers to get to. Hey, ma. Oh, hold on. I only got 23 minutes left. All right. So can you put some more minutes on my phone card?
More minutes. Damn.
Yes, man.
So I'm gonna show it. Let's see here. All right, guys. Man, this is some old stuff in here. Game Boys. What
Tamagotchi.
else? Tamagotchi. The pager. I remember my dad
Oh,
had a
yeah.
work pager like that. Oh my gosh. I'm on call. I'm like, what? I
You
got
know what
paged.
the one down at the bottom is? On the left corner?
Yeah.
Have you ever had one of those?
The walk. No, I didn't. I had a CD player.
That was a mini disc Walkman. Like you
Oh.
you used to slide a little mini disc in it.
Yeah. You guys remember they tried to make
Two-way.
those things real popular? I forgot what they were called, but they were like these little things, and you would buy like a cartridge that would just be like a single, and you would put it in
Hit
this
clip.
stupid little thing. Yeah, there it is. Like,
Hit clip. Yeah, I
What?
had those. I had the NSYNC.
yeah, I had a couple of those too, and I was like, what a ridiculous premise. They're like, you want to just listen to one song? You want to have a device for one song? Like, yeah, that sounds great. Like, what the hell were we thinking?
No, it's wow. I think this is a good episode. It's like our comment section is popping. Like I think everybody feels the nostalgia that we
The
feel.
90s, man.
The 90s. I mean,
We're all
y'all had a
old.
PlayStation?
The
We're
first
yeah.
place I had everything. The first
Crash
PlayStation. Oh my
Bandicoot,
God.
Spyro,
Yeah, Spyro, man.
Yes. Yes.
Crash
The
Bandicoot,
dragon.
them commercials. Oh my
Those are the old
gosh.
NBA lives that were just like, we're like, look at the graphics.
Yes.
And it was like, you could kind of make out a person. We were like, it's so real.
Yeah, that's crazy. That is how we thought too. We were like, oh man. I remember I played Madden. Oh, the Super NES. Oh my gosh.
Mini
Oh my
Genesis.
gosh.
The original Genesis.
That's a
Yeah,
tiny
you-
Genesis. That's
Y'all have to
Yes.
blow on your Nintendo? Like blow on the cartridge.
Take that cartridge out, blow on it, put it in there.
Bang it 2 times and get it
Yep.
to go.
We should have had Vince here to ask him about his Nintendo cartridges.
Oh my gosh.
Is that a whole story that we need to
Oh
That is a
no,
whole
yeah,
story.
Vince is Vince got a good bit about the Nintendo cartridges. He goes all out. I've seen Vince perform that bit a couple times. Yeah, it's a whole thing.
Okay. Yeah,
was
no,
the
I'm trying to
craziest
make them
thing,
laugh.
man.
Trying to
Yes.
make it last.
Yes. I remember when I had the regular Nintendo and you would put the cartridge in and then it wouldn't work. And then you would take it out, you blow it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you put it back in,
hmm
and then you would
Yep.
wiggle it,
No, I
wiggle
just
it,
like
and then
bang
it wouldn't play. It might not play, so you stop again. Then you like wiggle it a little bit. And you, oh, it won't play. Okay, let me take it out again. And he's like, and it looked like you. Every friend had their own technique. So somebody would be like, "You just gotta blow one side. Just see, you gotta put it in very gently." And then like, man, come on, get out of here with all this stuff. Man.
I had a specific flick of the power button. I was like, if you hit that thing and then you hit the power button just right, it would work. It worked about 1 out of every 100 times.
It's true.
Yeah, I know we were like banging ours. And we'd like take turns, like because my brothers and I would play, be like, all right, you blow on it. Maybe you got the magic touch and
Yep.
try to rotate it. Yeah.
Your breath's hotter than mine. Like,
Yeah. And then the one person would finally get it, and everybody be like, "What'd you do?"
Right.
How'd you
And you're
do
like, you like don't even
Yes.
don't even know. Let's see this other tech. Oh wow.
Oh my god, that dog! I remember that dog.
The robo.
What is that again?
I forgot what they called it, but it was like
I had one of them too.
I thought it was a robo pet.
It might have been. It might have been, but it was like this. Yeah, this is. I can't believe how popular they were. I mean, it was like they're like, look, it moves by itself.
Yeah.
Like, we were hungry for any kind of technology. I mean, we were like, I feel like the 90s was obsessed with like a future that we had kind of like fantasies of.
Yeah.
Like we thought that was the first generation of having like a robot dog in every house, like just doing stuff with this playing fetch and stuff like that.
I had one and it was crappy. It like just went and it would like tip over and I was like,
You'd be like,
yeah,
well,
I don't.
my dog's broken. Yeah.
You guys remember the hoverboards? When the hoverboards came out after the Back to the Future movie? You don't remember that, do you? The hoverboards.
I missed
Like they
actual
were
hoverboards.
real hoverboards. Yes, you remember in the Back to the Future 2 movie? I'm pretty sure it was Back to the
I'm
No, I know
very,
what you're
very
talking
familiar
Yeah.
with hoverboards.
hoverboards. And you could purchase them. You could get a hoverboard after the movie. They had hoverboards. Now the hoverboard absolutely did not do what it did in the movie.
Oh, okay.
It hovered
Just around.
okay.
it hovered probably about this far from the ground. But
Are you sure
but
this wasn't a fever dream?
No, look it up. Look it up, bro.
I'm gonna have to find
I'm
that.
like,
hoverboards.
no one, none of them have like blown up or anything. Like I'm like in my mind, I'm thinking like these things are like legit, and you didn't hear about any explosions or anything. Like
I mean, I'm sure there probably were, but we didn't have social media, so how would we know?
Right.
I mean, unless you knew somebody who had gotten blown up.
Let me get on my newer computer.
Because I was all mad when people started riding those little 2-wheel scooters or whatever, those without the
I had one.
But like when people started calling those hoverboards, I was like, y'all need to stop calling these hoverboards, because if something has wheels and it's touching the ground, it's not hovering. Like that's just not how hovering works. I couldn't handle it. So when you said hoverboards, I was like, wait a minute, for real?
Yeah, no. I hear you too. Okay, so everybody had one of these in their home if they were lucky enough. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Big back computers.
big Macintosh computer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we had to go budget, so we had a compact. Remember
Yep.
compacts?
Compact.
Yeah.
Had the Dell. Yeah, no, we had a few of those. And my dad was a computer programmer, so we had like a lot of broken computers around our house.
Most people
Just
did. Most people.
yeah, like just sitting around. We even had this is before the 90s, but we had even an Atari sitting in our house
Nice.
for games.
Commodore
Yeah,
64 was
Y'all play
like,
computer?
yeah.
Oh yeah, the Commodore 64. Did you say?
Yeah, I had a Commodore.
What's that you
I had
said?
I was fortunate enough to go through almost every game system. You know, because
okay.
I literally begged for it and would do whatever to get them. So yes, I had a Commodore 64. I had an Atari 2800. I had an Atari 5600. I know that I had the Neo Geo. I don't know if a lot of people remember that, but that was
Samurai Showdown,
first 64-bit game. You know, the Super NES, the Nintendo. I had the Sega Master System, which was the first Sega before Sega Genesis. Came with a game called Altered Beast. Game systems. I've been a gamer for life, like ever since they came out. So.
Did you play any games on the old computers?
Yeah.
What about Duke?
Breakout?
I played Duke Nukem.
Breakout on the old computer where you just had a line and a ball and you just move the joystick back and forth on the
I don't mean like that old computers. I'm not talking about like I'm not
I
talking
played
about
like Wheel of Fortune and like Jeopardy. Yeah,
I remember those.
So like we had to stick a floppy disk, and my dad had actually learned to like basically pirate games because he was a programmer. So he'd be like, "Oh, I see Jeopardy," and he'd make his own Jeopardy, or he'd make his own Wheel of Fortune, and we would just like pop the floppy disk in and play these games on the Atari, tab and over and F1. Yep. Yeah, it was very, interesting. But that's like
Bard's Tale. Remember Bard's Tale? and then what was the one that you would play in school? Where you would like you were
Oregon Trail.
Oregon Trail.
Oh yeah, Oregon Trail.
You already know.
Like, computer time. Everybody, guys, you gotta survive the Oregon Trail. That's like
yeah, we did Oregon Trail and Carmen Sandiego. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego?
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow,
so
man,
we're talking about that.
So many memories.
Yeah, we have to show this.
She talking about I was rich. I was not rich.
Buster.
Man, Blockbuster was the jam.
I know. Blockbuster. Was it Movie Gallery? Was the other competitor?
There were a couple. Hollywood Video was one.
Yeah. In Jacksonville, it was like Blockbuster, and across the way is like Movie Gallery, literally right across the road from each other. And it's like, who has the better new releases with a popcorn and candy special?
Blockbuster, there was a time where that was like a hangout spot. Like you would just go and just like hang out in Blockbuster and talk movies with people and stuff. It was, it was an experience, one that I'm glad we got to have, because that Friday night trip to Blockbuster where you're like, what's the weekend going to be like? And then they messed up and did the deal where you could pay like however much a month and just continually come back and trade stuff
2 games or 3 games. Yeah. I mean,
I feel personally responsible for the demise of Blockbuster because of how much shit I watched when they let me do that.
Well, the demise of Blockbuster was the fact that they did do that, and then people stopped bringing the shit back. That was the demise.
You don't have anything.
They started letting you rent as like 3 games. Like especially when they started renting out games, people would rent those games and not have to buy the game and just keep the game. And they would have the unlimited, like when you had that, what you were talking about, that $14.99 membership, like you didn't have to bring the games back. You could just like keep them for, and then, they just wouldn't have them. So,
Yeah. No. But I like Blockbuster. There is one left in the U.S., I believe, in Bend, right? Oregon.
Oh, Oregon.
Bend, Oregon. And it's I think the last one. And so I wonder if it's still open.
Yeah, I wonder if it still operates like a Blockbuster, or is it just like a museum now? You know what I mean?
No, it does, but so she actually uses the same computer. Like there's a documentary on Netflix about the last Blockbuster, and it's actually really good because she shows you how she uses the same computer. She'll scan your card. But the way she gets the movies is she has to go to like Target, buy the new movies, and then she puts them like in the Blockbuster like rental case and everything. But she says if her computer breaks, she's like, I guess from old Blockbusters that have gone out of business, she's grabbed their like computers they were going to throw out, and so she has like parts she rotates so she can keep the system going from like the night. Yeah, it's insane.
She's just like, one day, Blockbuster, we will make it back. She's the last hope.
They like, we're not going to transition to an iPad yet. Like, all right, we got this efficient system. Like, no, it's like, no, it's a big back computer.
That's hilarious. She's like Will Smith in I Am Legend. Like, she just like, I'm going to be the one to save it.
Yeah, no, not happening. So as we transition into 90s fashion.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Wow. I forgot about some of these. Let's
all the leopard
what?
Yes.
Oh, the chain on the pants.
Yes.
Yeah,
look at all the pants. Nobody, you can't see anyone's privates in their pants. I like that.
Not so tight.
I like that. I like the looseness of their wear.
The not so tight.
The not so tight. I don't dig the tight.
Tommy Hilfiger had a hold on like the late 90s, early 2000s. Man.
Tommy, Ralph Lauren.
Yeah.
Nautica.
I remember my older cousin gave me a hand-me-down pair of Tommy Hilfiger jeans that had like Tommy going down the side of them, and you couldn't tell me shit when I was wearing those jeans. I mean, I can only rock them once a week because otherwise people would be like, suspicious. But like, I was on days when I wore those jeans, I was like, don't even look at me. Don't look over
here. Oh my gosh. But I feel like a lot of these fashions are coming back. Like we had talked about before the show that a lot of these fashions are coming back. I saw someone was like 90s blocked colored jacket, like, and I was like,
love it.
What? Yeah. And I was like, okay. And then even with like the pants, like mom jeans are like a thing.
Yeah.
Where it's like, remember they used to have like SNL and like Mad TV skits about like the mom jeans and how they like ridiculously high they were, and like moms wear like these ugly outfits, and now it's like, no, mom jeans for all shapes and sizes. And that's like the thing.
Lisa brought up the Cross Colors brand, which listen, when Cross Colors came out, everybody had their Cross Colors rocking. It was either Cross Colors or you're rocking Carl Kanai, like many mentioned. Esco was a brand that a lot of people were rocking. So it was a lot of urban wear in the 90s that was just becoming very, very popular.
Yeah.
And I think one of the big shifts that you can kind of see is in the 90s, men drove the fashion world, the fashion lane, urban wear, but mostly men. And the reason I say that is because what you see now is a kind of different shift where women drive the fashion realm, and to the point that men are now kind of like seeing stuff that women wear and are like, okay, that's unisex, I like it, so I'll wear it, you know what I mean, type stuff. And it's just a different dynamic altogether, because you would see girls dressed like dudes because that was like the fashionable rock, like
TLC
like a picture of all the girls with the suspenders, Aaliyah was really big suspenders and
I remember TLC when they would drop a video or whatever, especially in the early years, they would always have they'd be rocking real baggy jeans, they'd be sagging a little bit, they had a tank top on and then like some a flannel over it and like just everything they would rock that.
The guys we were like that the urban streetwear was very fashionable.
Yeah, like that Janet Jackson Poetic Justice kind of look. That was a look right there. Like, that was if you wanted to ruin some poor young man's concentration for the rest of the school day, show up looking like Janet Jackson and Poetic Justice, and Tyrone's not getting any work done.
That's right. That's right. This is true. Yeah. This is absolutely true.
We can't forget about these though. Preppy and the grunge, like that was a thing back then.
Absolutely.
So in high school we all know the culprits of the Abercrombie, which is a good segue into, if you all haven't seen, the White Hot, the rise and fall of Abercrombie and Fitch.
Wild.
Which that's like an interesting documentary, because I remember growing up and just being like, wow, the store's like, really? I don't see no like people of color like at all. Like in that store, on the marketing whatsoever. Very one tone, one shade.
Yeah, that's I think the the craziest thing about that documentary for me is how many people were surprised that Abercrombie and Fitch was racist. I'm like, well, damn. I mean, they went out of their way to show us. I mean, damn. I remember my cousin from England came over and he liked their clothes, and their money was worth so much more and things are so much cheaper here. So he was like, yeah, we got to go to Abercrombie and Fitch and I got to stock up. And I just remember looking around and he was like, you gonna get anything? And I was like, no, this is not for me. This isn't good.
I just remember I remember going in there and being like, these pants are not gonna fit somebody who's athletic and whatsoever. What are too tight?
Yeah, but I will be honest, later after the Abercrombie phase, I did end up in some Hollister polos. I'm not gonna lie, I go ahead and I'll admit to it. Not knowing that they were related, I was just like, I'm gonna throw one of these on. Yeah, so just let me take my shots.
That's so crazy that you said that you didn't know that they're related, because they like they're almost crafted identically, like Hollister and Abercrombie. They did the same exact thing with their clothes. They just put the name of the clothes of the brand in the middle, nothing else, just the name of the brand, and then a plain T-shirt, plain sweater, plain whatever, and just charge you $100.
Yeah, oh no, well that's the thing. Like the Hollister stuff was cheap. You catch it like on some sale. Like I was always catching the sale stuff. Like I'm not out here trying to win any awards or anything. Like, let me just get something to wear to skate station, and that's all I needed.
He said skate station.
That's it. Skate.
I used to go there. So
you know what's up?
Look, you brought it up. Tyrone. In the 90s, the skating rink was the place to be.
Skating rink was
if you were a teenage kid in the 90s, guess what? On the weekend, everybody's at the skating ring. Okay, everybody's got their best wear on. They're, you know what I'm saying, they might not even be skating, but they'll have some skates on their feet, but they might not be skating. They might just be sitting there with their best little gear on and just hollering, just, hey, what's up?
Yep.
And the real skaters would just be in there showing off. I hated you guys. I hated whoever was showing off in there doing all those tricks, because I couldn't do them.
See, I was in true 90s fashion, I was a rollerblader. I was like, rollerblades, zipping in and out of people, skating backwards and doing twists and stuff like that. I was one of those guys annoying you, but you were over there, you were talking to the girls and stuff. I was just getting real sweaty and like
right,
and I was getting real sweaty and thirsty, so I had to go over can I get a Pepsi?
Yes, this is true. It's
funny now, like I remember going to like the skating rink maybe like before the pandemic and being like, no one rollerblades. It's like, if you don't roller skate now, it's like a thing, like the roll bounce and like what they do in the ATL. It's like, you gotta skate. So I actually did buy me skates, and I don't know if I'm gonna ever make a debut because I'm a little rusty. I don't want to like bust my behind, but I realized I'm like, if I'm gonna take my kids to the skating rink, I really got to like learn how to skate again, because my first inclination is to rollerblade though.
Roller skates are a completely different monster, and you also got to be real careful because the stakes are higher now. Once you get past a certain age, you don't want to be the one showing up on like on work at Monday and you got the wrist guard thing on. And they were like, "What happened?" Like, I fell on the skates and my wrist been hurting ever since.
No, I know. That's why I said I'm not there yet. Let me like go on a tennis court and fall down a couple times. And then when I can like start skating backwards and actually looking kind of cool, I'll be skating with Usher on the
Yeah.
the Usher videos that are coming out
Yeah.
of him skating. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I'm trying to get on that level.
Yeah, good for
So-
Usher. And also, sorry we haven't mentioned you yet, Usher. You were one of the kings of the 90s and 2000s. Usher was over there killing it for
Yes.
a
We
good
should have
good
mentioned
yeah.
Usher, right?
Yeah.
And he's still relevant.
He
Yeah.
was
So
the Prince. He was
Yeah,
the
and while we're at
the
it,
Chris
shout out to
Brown
yeah,
of that
shout
era.
out to Joe, shout out to Brian McKnight,
Absolutely.
shout out
Okay.
to Carl Thomas, shout out to all the dudes out there that were singing and still
That's
giving us
right.
love songs when we were past the golden era of love songs and Luthers and
Kenny
stuff like that.
Lattimore.
Yes,
Yes.
yeah.
Kenny
These
Lattimore,
dudes right here killing it.
yes.
Keith Sweat. Remember Keith Sweat
Yeah.
and
Yes.
Gerald Levert and Johnny Gill.
All
They
of them.
formed a R&B Voltron and they made LSG and they gave us these just great songs to
Great
vibe
music.
to and stuff.
I love
Yeah.
it. I love it. No, but you're right. But I think going back, kind of tying the music to the skating rink, like remember the playlist? Like if you had a good DJ, the skating rink was also like the club too.
Yeah.
So you didn't even have to skate. You could just sit off to the side and
Yep.
just like drink and just
That's
have and talk
it.
with your friends because it was, man, some of them playlists. And that's why I said it because it would go like to the 90s and then it would go to the 2000s and be like, is this back? What is
Yeah.
this? Is this, you know, like back that ass up? And then we're like, wait, what is this? Like,
That's it.
now we're back to the slow jam.
Bro,
That's
for
it.
whatever reason, one of my skating jams was remember when Puff Daddy did the remake of Public Enemy #1, and it was objectively not good, but like for whatever reason, I used to love skating to that song. I thought, I was like, this Pete Daddy song got me, or Puff Daddy at the time, it had me all hyped.
He was puffy.
Yes. Skating ring
Yeah.
was the spot.
We just went on a tangent.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about the skating rink until it's all opening up. This is what happens when you
All
start
the
to go
stuff that
back.
happened in the 90s.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, then you think about like fashion, and then it's like, okay, because remember, you got to think what you're going to wear to the skating rink because you can't just be, you want to be like practical, but you
Yeah.
also want your outfit to be fly.
You
Yeah.
want to pop.
So, yeah.
Yeah. And I needed to make sure that my jeans went over my rollerblades because they couldn't bunch up. You know what I mean?
That's
Like,
it.
I couldn't be out there looking crazy and stuff, but they couldn't be too long because then I get stuck in the brakes and, then we have a situation. So, it was very, very serious stuff.
Yeah, like fashion. No,
Bell bottoms.
No,
Yeah,
flare
if
jeans.
anybody from the
Flares.
90s remember Jinko jeans?
Oh, man,
Jinko
yeah.
jeans
Yes.
were flared out. They had flared out bottoms with the bell bottom bottoms of the
Mhm.
jeans. Yeah, so
Yeah,
there
you could always tell when it was raining when the kid would come into class.
because your shit would be
Yeah, and it's just soaked up to his knees.
it's true. This
Yeah.
is true.
No. No, I agree. I think when I think of fashion in the 90s, it was just like you can like the patterns, like in the transitions from like the 90s to the 2000s, seeing how pants got like from baggy to tight. And I feel like now it's like all over the place. Like I don't even know like what's in because it's like
Well,
it's a
it's
mix of
It's tight.
well, it's
There's-
tight, but it's like you can find like now they actually have like, or at least for women, you can get like boyfriend jeans, which are like almost like straight leg loose
Yeah.
pants that kind of throw back to the 90s.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's kind of like where before I remember being in high school, you literally could see the transition of like, oh, we used to put like junior high, like butterflies in our hair up here, like the little butterfly clips. And then it went to like, all right, everyone like does like the cornrows halfway and then like straighten their hair. Like there was like just more, I think, like definitive trends in fashion that were more obvious, I kind of feel like, than now. And I'm like, wear what you want.
Well, I think
For
also,
men- oh, go ahead, Tom.
oh no, I was just gonna say that I feel like so much of fashion in the 90s, especially in the mainstream, when it was kind of hip hop derived.
Yes.
And I think
Yeah.
the reason why it seems so non-specific now is because it's not based in hip hop. It's kind of like whatever people are whatever
Kim
people see when they look
Kardashian.
backwards. Yeah, it's like it's a sort of this weird this weird, I don't want to say bastardization because that's like a harsh word, but it just doesn't feel the same, you know what I mean? So I think when I look to specifically what is hip hop culture, and especially what's kind of sprouting from sneaker culture, is we're getting back to that more like 90s era, pinks and greens and purples and blues and stuff like that, the colorful stuff, the crazy looks and everything. So hopefully we get back to that look. I'm thinking like tracksuits and stuff like that. Remember those days?
We
Like,
still have those.
Oh,
but I
Like
mean, like,
those are
remember the ones
yeah.
that where the hallways at school used to all just sound like
Yes. Columbia
yeah.
suit. Columbia
Yeah.
suits or Nike windbreaker. There was the windbreaker suits.
The
So
windbreaker suits, yeah.
yeah, windbreaker suits. But it's like you know, to your point, Holly, and also yours, Tyrone. It's like the what drove fashion was it was more street wear because
Mhm.
the type of
yeah,
rap
very true.
that was being kind of like promoted was street rap. Like it wasn't like the typical rap now where you know you're just I don't even know, but
Yeah.
like but this was
Yeah.
more like that urban inner city street wear. And that's why it kind of women when you saw women wearing it, it was like, oh, okay, you know what I'm saying? Because they were following up what the men were doing. And I think, you know, to the point now, like when I go out to buy jeans, first of all, they don't even sell baggy jeans anymore. I just want to make that clear. Like when you go into these places where you typically have shopped before, when you look, they used to have a rack that said baggy or even said
Mhm.
relaxed.
Yeah.
Now
Loose
it's
fit.
not like that. You get form fitting or like tight. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
like anybody who knows me knows that you hardly will see me in jeans anymore because every time I go to the store to get some, they're like 3 sizes too small. And then I'm like, I can't breathe in these. So, you know what I mean? So I'm usually in
Yeah.
sweatpants or some type of relaxed. That's about the only way I'm going to get anything relaxed. I mean, and even then you go and they've changed the cut of the sweatpants. So instead of them being baggy, they're like tight all the
Yeah.
way down.
Joggers.
They
Yeah.
go down like tight and get tighter around your legs. So
Mhm.
it's hey, European. This is the European fit and the
Yeah.
European
Yeah.
genre
Ty
of
said he's not trying to show off
of
his
fashion.
chopsticks.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I totally agree. So, okay, so as we round out this conversation, let's talk about what is one fashion trend from the 90s you wish they would bring back, Tyrone?
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna go with the windbreaker tracksuits. I feel like we need a little bit more silliness in life, and I
Okay.
don't think you could take people too seriously wearing those things. So I feel like we all need to get one. I used to have an all white. This was a mistake. I used to have a all white tracksuit when I first got my first job at 15. I was like, get one of these, and it was a Tommy Hilfiger all white tracksuit,
Oh,
and it was in Florida, and like it rains a lot in Florida. So I was like, one day I was like, oops, I'm accidentally doing like a R. Kelly video right now. You know what I mean? Like it, and yeah, so it was a whole thing. And by the way, I'm talking about, R. Kelly from that time. I would never, no.
yeah, we got you.
Shame
Yeah,
on
no.
you, R. Kelly. Shame on you.
Ty, what fashion trend would you like to bring back mainstream?
Baggy jeans for sure. Like I
Yeah,
like for me, it's just comfortable and I like the way it feels and looks
with
on
the
me.
boxers showing, with the underwear
Well,
showing.
no, I didn't do that. Like I never like
Okay,
really wanted. I was never one to pull my butt out. Like that's not like
okay.
that's like where I'm from. We call it caulking, which is where
Hmm.
you're not showing your butt, but yeah, you might have a little bit of your boxers showing, like the rib of your boxers. That's like like just the rib because you might have Tommy boxers on, or you might have Ralph Lauren boxers on, and the girls used to like that. So we caulked, and what I'm saying, you might see it, but nah, I've never been one to like have my pants under my butt and like to the point where you got to see everything. Like that's just nah. I've never
What are
been
you
me.
hiding from the world, man?
Oh, I'm
What are you
not
hiding
hiding.
down there? See, I'm gonna start a new conspiracy
Oh, I'm
theory.
not.
Ty doesn't have legs. Like Ty stops at the waist. As far as y'all know, this man has no leg. He just floats around, just the upper torso, just floating around on
Yeah,
some empty tracksuit pants with some shoes at the bottom.
yeah,
That's a
yeah.
new
Oh
conspiracy theory.
man.
Oh, so for me, it would be the flared jeans because I used to love the flared jeans, but now it's like a straight leg thing. Like everything's like tight,
Everything is tight,
straight
tight.
leg, and they do still make like wide leg or like they flare out slightly at the bottom, but it's nothing like the flared
Yes.
pants. Like it was just with high heels. Like I used to like That was my thing, like flare jeans and the way they would like just go over the high heels. Like that was my thing, and it's just not the
Did you,
same.
Holly? What were your stores back in the day? Where were you getting these high heels and these flare jeans?
Okay, so I don't know, like it's not everywhere. Dillard's, okay,
Okay,
JC
so you weren't
Penney.
like a okay.
Yeah, I didn't go to Express,
No
not yet. That's
Express, no
like
Body
late,
Shop,
late.
no
Oh wait,
nothing
so
like.
yeah, Body Shop, Rave, Charlotte Russe, hold
Oh yeah.
on, Wet Seal.
Okay. Yeah, you were out there
Um,
killing the game then. Yeah,
yeah, no,
I
I
feel like I
did.
know how you were in high school now.
Yeah, but I did also have a bit of like the American Eagle and some of the Aeropostale. Like, yeah, my dad like would not let me even go to Abercrombie. He's like, "Why is the music so loud in here? It smells." Like, I can't tolerate. And he's like, "The prices, it's too expensive." Like,
Yeah.
so yeah. He's like, "Why is it $60 for a T-shirt that just says Abercrombie?" So yeah, no, I was I guess it'd be considered like the club clothes
Yeah.
kind of like
I got you.
shop.
What was your fragrance? Remember how like there were like 3 fragrances everybody was wearing back then? Which one was yours? What were you wearing, Holly?
Victoria's Secret Love Spell.
Okay.
Like,
What were you wearing, Ty?
yeah,
Hold on. I bet Ty. I bet you were a polo sport guy.
Nope.
Damn.
not a
What were you
fan.
wearing?
Eternity for Men.
Eternity for
Okay.
Men. That was
Eternity
the
for
jam.
Men. It smelled so good. It smelled so good.
I remember I splurged on a bottle of Curve. Remember Curve, y'all?
Curve.
Oh my gosh, Curve.
Absolutely.
And they had like the men and women gift sets and like,
Yep.
oh my
Yep.
gosh. Yeah, my mom had Curve and I was like, oh God. No.
What? Nautica Blue.
Yeah, look at everybody in the yeah.
Yeah, everybody in the chat. Y'all going crazy, man. We appreciate all of these comments and love y'all for it. And y'all are bringing back so many memories, man.
Yeah.
I swear,
Nautica Blue. Oh.
Yeah, man. Like this is crazy. Like just to think about all of the stuff that oh man, I miss those days so much. We need a time machine.
Someone said everybody wore Love Spell. Yeah,
yes.
I swear everybody wore Victoria's Secret Love Spell. Like that was like their #1 fragrance.
Or CK1. Remember when everybody was on CK1?
Yeah,
just the whole school smelled like CK1.
Yeah. I used to see a lot of girls wearing that Elizabeth Taylor white diamond stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember a lot of girls who used to wear that. I had some Michael Jordan cologne.
Oh, of course.
Michael Jordan had his own cologne, man.
Trying to smell like a champion.
Got me that. Yeah, some Michael Jordan stuff. You know what I mean? Like, wow.
Yeah, so that was good. It's like reminiscing. But as we transition to we need to talk about some breaking news in entertainment.
Don't click the screen though.
Yeah, don't.
Yeah, don't click on your screen. Nothing's gonna happen.
Yeah, so we're gonna talk about entertainment news that is trending. So the first thing we're gonna talk about is Bad Bunny, him being the first Latino superhero in his own live action movie, playing El Muerto. So I think we're gonna drop a video here, an article. So Bad Bunny lands Marvel role, and as a Spider-Man character. Thoughts, guys? Tyrone, what are your thoughts?
Oh, you had to ask me, didn't you? No, I wish that they would say Sony role instead of Marvel. I feel like Sony just they do it, but yeah, it's technically this dude's a villain. He showed up in 2 issues of Spider-Man in all of the probably thousands of issues. I don't know why Sony decided this was the dude, or this was the dude. And it's weird. And El Muerto is like luchador based kind of character. If I'm not mistaken, he's Mexican, and Bad Bunny's Puerto Rican. So I don't know what they're trying to do over here. So yeah, this could potentially start some bad blood. So watch out, Sony. I think we should cancel this movie before it happens. It's in everybody's best interest. Cancel it.
Ty, what are your thoughts?
I mean, Tyrone has kind of convinced me that that Sony just they don't know what they're doing. And so, I mean, I'm excited for, anytime there's representation
Right.
on screen, I get excited. It's just that I don't want bad representation. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like if you're gonna
Right.
represent, then represent the right way. And he does have a very good point. But yeah, Puerto Rican luchador. Yeah.
Yeah.
So nobody in the room was like, hey, uh, guys, Bad Bunny's Puerto Rican.
Yeah. They're like, hey, I don't
Um,
know if y'all heard of this thing called Google, but it's got all this information in it. I just Googled this
Right.
dude. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just it's wild. And nothing against Bad Bunny. I'm sure he's a fine gentleman. I don't know anything about Bad Bunny, but except for the fact that he's Puerto Rican, and only because of this argument. Before that, like I didn't know much about Bad Bunny
Mhm.
at all. But yeah, like it's just why are we doing this to everybody? I just don't
Lisa,
get
Right.
there to your question, is he a villain? He's actually an anti-hero. That
Yeah.
so yeah, if you've not noticed by now, there's not really too many true villains. There's not really too many true villains in Marvel. I would love to see a true villain, but it always somehow it's like I'm trying to save the world from, I might have to destroy half the world to save the
yeah.
world, and I'm it
Well,
always turns into
actually,
something else.
you know what? This
Right.
is something that I just thought of, but like Mysterio may have actually been like that guy because he
Mm.
was just pissed off at people. He was like, man, you know, Tony Stark sucks. I'll show them. You know what I mean? So he might, yeah, Mysterio, which is a great way to do a Spider-Man villain. Like they nailed
Mhm.
Mysterio, and he was just out there just causing trouble just because he wanted to, and he was an asshole until the very end too. And even he's still an asshole. He's dead, maybe,
Right.
and still an asshole. So yeah, maybe Marvel got it right with that one, but that had
Yeah.
nothing to do with Sony except for they put their name on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I have no thoughts. I'm like Sony, I'm just kind of like I gotta see it to see how this plays out at this point. But yeah, that's well, congrats to Bad Bunny and all that he's doing and
Maybe.
in his music and now and potentially. Yeah. So
Yeah.
we'll
Yeah.
see. Yeah. So now we're gonna talk about Chopper from y'all know throwback, making the band.
90s,
Making
2000s, making the
90s.
band.
90s. So I'm going to show a video talking about kind of what's up with this human trafficking, him being charged with it. And yeah, let's play this video and we're going to dissect it. There really is no respected, I guess, at this point. So let's play it.
Oh, weed just to ease minds. I don't know about y'all, but I needs mine.
Former MTV Making the Band star Chopper has been arrested for sex trafficking, with law enforcement accusing him of being a pimp.
Running game on your chick, your boy's a pimp. I need the ones with no type of common sense. That about it.
Chopper was arrested earlier this month in Maryland, and he's being extradited to Las Vegas to face sex trafficking charges in Sin City. According to a new legal document obtained by TMZ, an undercover vice detective in Nevada posing as a sex worker says Chopper direct messaged them on Instagram with an apparent offer to make money through prostitution. The undercover cop searched Chopper's IG account and noticed several posts related to prostitution and pimping, including a post where Chopper flaunted his wealth and made reference to being a pimp, including one picture of him inside of a plane with the phone alongside the caption saying, "Sending them," with money bag and a crown emoji. In the documents, the undercover cop says they launched an investigation into Chopper after seeing social media evidence of potential sex trafficking operation. The undercover cop says Chopper called them and bragged about frequent traveling and having 7 homes across the country, including one in Las Vegas, while telling the undercover cop Sin City was not a safe place to do business because law enforcement was cracking down. What's more, the undercover cop says they had a phone interview with Chopper, and after passing the test, Chopper told them he would make them part of his team and stable. The undercover cop also says Chopper became aggressive with them over the phone, ordering them around like he might do with sex workers, telling them to pack up their belongings, get to the airport and meet them in Charlotte, North Carolina to join the stable. From there, the undercover cop said they stalled by telling Chopper they were scared to leave their home, with Chopper trying to verbally force them to make the trip, getting angry and demanding a $2,000 fee. Between alleged social media posts, direct messages, phone calls, and fee demand, the undercover says there then was enough evidence to arrest Chopper and charge him with felony of sex trafficking.
Dang. All right. Interesting. So that's unfortunate, and for all parties involved, really, the women, him, because that's not a good look, and it's not looking too promising. It seems like they have a lot of evidence against him.
I mean,
Tyrone. Yeah.
I guess I'm glad that they're stopping him. That's, sex trafficking is not cool. Now sex work is work. I 100% believe that. And as long as everybody's safe, consenting, people being paid well, and everything is 100% consented, great. But with this situation, sex trafficking is very serious, not cool. But like my thought is like, why post about your crimes?
Yeah.
I don't understand that. I'm glad he did, so somebody could stop him if he's out there doing
right.
Dirt. But damn, people are stupid as hell. Damn, people are stupid. Sometimes I just can't get over it. That's wild.
Yeah, Ty, what's your thought?
I'm with Tyrone. I mean, this is just ignorant on so many levels. If you are, and I'm not trying to tell anybody how to pimp, but if you are going to be doing something like this, and you do have women that are interested in working for you, there are places in the world that allow this. You do know that, right? Like I could tell you where, but I'm not. But I mean, there are places where you could make a reputable name for yourself and conduct business properly without having to worry about sting operations and all of these other kind of things. This is like this. I'm just like, man, this is 2022, and we really got people going to jail for pimping still. Like, really, like this is.
Sounded like he was trying to do like the old school thing too, but like over the phone. Like, you can't work from home pimp. Like, that's not how it works, man. You can't. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't work that way. It's not a remote.
It does. It actually does. You're wrong. And it's called escort services. Escort services are a form of pimping, whether you want to believe them or not. They're actually a legal form of pimping. You know what I'm saying? Because, and not to say that I've ever called an escort, but I know some people. And every time they've ever told me stories about their interactions with escorts, the escorts come through, charge you a fee, and then negotiate whatever's going to happen at that point. And last time I checked, that's prostitution, buddy. So people are still out here doing this stuff. It's funny how they listed the article as sex trafficking, because there's a huge difference between what he was doing and what sex trafficking is. And I think, that's just another way, I guess, to kind of bury him.
Well, it's probably, but it's also probably because he was talking about having people come, crossing state lines and stuff like that. Once you start crossing state lines, you start looking at federal crimes and things like that, and it's a whole they get you on all kinds of shit. Yeah,
start trumping up stuff. But hey, I hope he gets his life together in any way, shape, or form. It's unfortunate.
Yeah,
I never thought I would have never suspected him out of everybody on the Making the Band. I would have thought Dylon would have been the pimp, like, Dylon. We got hot fire everywhere. All the girls, hot fire.
Really?
Dylon.
I could no.
Nobody was taking Dylon seriously enough.
Yeah. No.
He'd have been like, give me the money. They'd have been, shut the hell up. You give me the money.
Right. Oh my gosh. Wow, guys, This has been a good show.
Who
Like
is this
the
roasting me?
nostalgia.
If you gonna roast me,
Someone's
I need to know
roasting.
who
better
this
announce
is
yourself.
roasting me. Don't roast me without your
His
name,
discount was Babe.
without your
Let's
name on
know.
Facebook user. You gonna roast me?
Yeah, he like literally just was like boom, 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 boom. Like,
We got a
You
a
just
roast
roasted.
ninja in
Who is
here,
this? Who
coming in here anonymously.
anonymous? Anonymous.
he's like
roaster.
throwing the stones and like
Yeah.
running away. Say your
Oh
name if you're
man.
brave. Say your name if you're brave. But this
Yeah,
has been a
yeah.
good
Say your
show,
name.
guys.
Mhm.
I really feel like this nostalgia, like, man, this is why
Such
I
good
like
memories.
watching like these 90s and 2000 throwback shows when they talk about why I love the 90s and 2000s, because it's really good to reminisce about this kind of stuff. So
You guys remember when we used to put lines in our eyebrows?
Oh shit!
yeah, let's highlight
We used to put
time.
lines in our
Live,
eyebrows.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look,
you
legit
gotta-
put lines
stepped
in his
into
eyebrows.
character for just for
Yeah, you
y'all,
gotta-
y'all.
boom.
Like just for y'all, I stepped into character. This is the 90s eyebrows, lines in the eyebrows. It was huge. It was a big thing.
Well, so Ty, since it's on you anyways, we should have just left it
Oh.
on you. Yeah. You might as well say where, say your
Where people
outro
can
where
find
we
you.
can
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
thank you.
Okay. Well, it
Yeah.
is Bad
You can
Time
go
Bricks.
first
You
today.
can follow me on Instagram or Facebook. You can catch me here at the Multiverse every Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. or on Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. Y'all like that? I just changed my voice, man. That sounds like a radio voice. I love it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, get
or on Saturdays at 10 a.m. in the morning with
The
Vince Taylor,
Storm.
Tyrone Thornhill, Stephanie Ray, and Yaz. The
All right. Tyrone.
Well, you heard the man. Wednesday 6:30 for Multiverse. Saturday morning 10 a.m. for New Blurred Order. Mondays I'm with Zilla Vodness on Twitch for Silver Stream at 8-ish usually. That's we're developing. And follow me at Tyrone Thornhill on all social media. Thank you for joining this reminiscence session.
All right, guys, you know where to find me on So Please Understand and on social media. But again, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Instagram and follow us on Facebook and, comment, like, subscribe, share, keep sharing, keep commenting,
That's right.
and keep viewing our posts.
That's
And again, be here next week at 6:30 because we're going to be talking about Doctor Strange, trending topics. And we need you to keep the comment section hype and live. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Keep it lit.
Yeah. Yes. But all right, guys. Well, until next week, 6:30. We're out.